Mr. Chairman, just one comment. We are receiving many emails, and latest date we're 2,200 or so emails, about 500 individual writers. My goal is to ensure the board knows that those are coming in. We're not offering any thoughts at this point on what they mean, but they are asking that they be notified to the board. So we'll continue to do that as appropriate with the context, of course, Director Bartlett. But just wanted to make sure that the board knew that we're receiving that from constituents about actions on your agenda.
Understood. Any other board comments? Just, as a board member of both the TCA and the OCTA, the TCA's mission is really to extend the toll road. And in my opinion, when they start getting into regional mobility, that's what this agency does. Of course, there's an overlap without question. But they're getting way far afield of what their actual mission is. And test me, I can relate any subject to any other subject in 4 sentences or less. So everything's related to something. But when you get to the core mission of an agency, the TCA's mission is to extend the toll system. Their job is not regional mobility in Southern California. Their job is to work with us on that, their system matched with ours. And in fairness, I don't live in San Clemente. I don't know these people. I have no idea what their emails are. But when you start getting into the issue of what's been presented to me by some of the TCA advocates of we're looking at all these different alternatives, and they include coming down Ortega and issues with the 5, that's way far afield of what their core mission is supposed to be. Those issues need to be hashed out here. It should be. And when TCA cannot keep their focus, I just suggest they're going to get themselves in trouble, and they're going to invite a lot of criticism, starting with me. But it's not necessary. But they can walk through any minefield they want. But if you do that, you're likely going to step on something that might hurt you. And so I get that people are upset, but it's not an extraordinarily irrational thought that perhaps TCA deserves some criticism. Maybe this agency does too. I guess we could all use a little constructive criticism, but just for what it's worth. Anything further before we adjourn?
Yes.
Yes.
So kind of piggybacking onto your comment, and I sit on both boards as well, and I have really pushed TCA to be more open and collaborative with the stakeholders, because sometimes it tends to focus on its core mission and not including all of the other stakeholders, whether it's the 24191 connector project or some other project like the 241 South. And so I've been consistently pushing to make sure that they are inclusive of all the stakeholder groups and in their conversation about mobility and working with the other agencies and stakeholders to have a collaborative discussion about how best to move things forward. So it's a public process right now with all the ideas. There are 20 different ideas for 241 connecting somewhere. And through that process, they'll narrow it down through the EIR. And then I've prefaced by saying that we need to continue to work with all the stakeholders, because once perhaps a dotted line that they think is good, it's not a matter of TCA saying, well, this is it and this is what we're going to do. They've got to work with all the stakeholders to make sure that it works in conjunction with the projects that OCTA has on widening of the I-5 and 405 and the other projects that other agencies have, and it's compatible with everything that's going on with the SCAG discussions.
We all understand that. There's a right and a wrong way to do that. The fact that they have 20 choices probably suggests, in my opinion, they've done it the wrong way. They could have asked all kinds of partners for suggestions. They submitted a list of demands. So with that, if there's not anything further, since that item's not on our agenda, we will adjourn. Happy Thanksgiving.